I'm Nicola Buswell, and my business is Power of Pants, which is a brand of period underwear based down here in South Devon. Well, the truth is I'm probably unemployable. I've had my own business since 2007. So previously I lived overseas and I had a business there for over 10 years. And I mean, not related at all. That was in the wine industry. But I've always had it in me that I've just wanted to have my own business. So when I wrapped things up there, when my children were tiny and sort of needed me, and I stepped back, the minute I stepped back, I was already thinking, well, what next? And I still have this list in my phone, which I love, which is a list of all the crazy ideas I've had. I just, inventions, everything. And there's just this crazy list. And I knew that none of those were going to go anywhere because I just didn't get that kind of goose pimples, that whoosh that comes all over your body kind of thing. And when I realised what I wanted to do with Power of Pants, it all fitted in, and that sort of missing passion was there. So I was like, okay, this is the one, So I think I've always been destined to work for myself, but it could be because I'm unemployable. Save the planet. You know what? The funny thing is, when I first started, it was lockdown, and we were doing lots of beach cleanups because I live very close to the estuary, which is lovely, and we couldn't go very far, and I had young children, so we did lots of trips out there, and I was quite horrified with the amount of tampon applicators and pads, especially liners, that were getting washed up on the beach. So I knew what the mission was. I wanted to kind of clear up this plastic. There's 200,000 tons of single-use period plastic that end up in landfill every year, and I wanted to try and make a dent in that. But as I've gone on this journey, there's been so many other things that I now realise are a mission. For example, young people having a period at school, the anxiety, the discomfort, the embarrassment, the bullying that goes on, all of that. We can make a big difference if we switch those people to using period pants because they're just easier. So that, that's one thing. And girls in sport, people in sport that are missing training, that are missing PE because they have their period, I want to try and address that. And also, we work in support of a national charity that are fighting period poverty, and for every 10 pairs we sell, we give one back to them because we want to support them. So it's just want it to be a give and take situation. About probably 18 months, 2 years, 18 months, yeah, not long. But the first year was sort of dedicated to product research, and that took a long time, and product design, and getting the website designed, and designing the website, being my own IT manager, doing all of that. So there was a lot of sort of creatives in the first year. So I was on the She Goes Beyond. It was I want to say accelerator program, but like those sort of entrepreneur hubs that Meta ran. So they just ran a competition, and they said, we're doing this for female entrepreneurs. Send us a blurb of why you think you should be involved. And I saw it and I thought, I'll send my blurb in. And then I was picked from, there was 50 of us that were picked from about 3,500 people, applicants or something. So I was just really pleased, and it's through them that they introduced the Digital Boost platform, and yeah, I started from them. So that was in the summer, last summer. You know what? On a sort of looking at an overview of the whole thing, if I had not have entered it, I would still be sitting on the periphery of working in a digital market. I wouldn't have taken the steps because it pushed me. I was on the edge going, okay, what do I have to, what next? And it sort of just came and just shoved me off it. And then, you sink or swim. So it just by joining it and being not forced, that's not the right word, but encouraged to join everything and to work with you guys, pushed me nicely out of my comfort zone into where I needed to be. Just almost having that accountability of, oh, I'm checking in, I'm going to have that meeting, I'm going to go to the London meetup, I'm going to check in, and I want to be able to get as much out of it as possible. So therefore, I've got to do my homework and I've got to get myself involved, because I think, especially if you've got a more creative brain, I think there's a big pull to do all the creative stuff because it's your happy place. But it isn't. You can't just create stuff if you want to have a business. There's got to be a plan. There's got to be everything else around it. So definitely, without a doubt, if I hadn't have joined in with that program or been selected by the program, I wouldn't be where I am now. So to start with, it was helping me define my audience and how to really understand social media, not just how physically the mechanics of how to do it, but really what goes on and how to reach people and how to define that. And that was invaluable, really invaluable. And then as things have progressed, I've had joined masterclasses on SEO, and it sort of all snowballed from there. And I've done I've had help with creating good Facebook ad campaigns, Google ads and things like that. I mean, I've scratched the surface. There's so much more I need to do. It's just finding the time to balance it all. But yeah, I think they're absolutely amazing. The one-on-ones are amazing. Yes, 100%. Would not be in the position I am now if I hadn't done any of this and met the mentors and gone through the programs. Now it's looking a lot less confused than a year ago. I mean, I had it in here, but it was all so jumbled, and every day I'd snowballing. It was very hard for me to streamline. What do I need to do? Like even things like who's my target audience? Because, I've got a target audience of 20 million people, and it could be a 9-year-old at primary school, or it could be a 45-year-old mother of 3, and everything that's in between. And I found that very overwhelming. So it's helped me focus on who I am and where I want to be. It was one of those things where you're like, oh yes, we're all here and all the stars are going to align. So we were going to talk about how they could help, what my problems were. They were going to go away and brainstorm and come back with solutions. But the 2 women that I spoke to were very sports driven, very competent sportswomen, were connected to sports people, and the conversation just naturally went that way. And it just sort of evolved, and it was like a conversation that just kind of cleared, and it all presented itself. And I thought, yes, exactly, that's what I should be doing. I need to be going back to revisiting how to create products that are going to take away those pain points for young people taking part in sports. And they were completely on board with that. And so we ended up just brainstorming. And then when we had the break and we came back, and they said, you don't actually have any problems for us to fix, but let's brainstorm on this. We think we might know this person that could help, and they put you in contact with this person, and so that it was just perfect. I'd say my proudest moment was being picked up in the first place, probably by Meta and West, because you're doing this and you're on your own and you're thinking this is great, and you have your imposter syndrome moments, then you have days when you feel invincible and all the rest of it. But to have a group of people come in and say, actually, yeah, we believe in what you're doing. Oh, wow, okay. So and every time I feel validated by people that are further on down the line, it just feels really incredible. So yeah, absolutely. And it gives you the positivity, and it gives you the tools to kind of build even further. But I'm floored by how generous the mentors are with their time, their knowledge, their emotions, everything. I hope they know they make a massive difference. It's invaluable, honestly. I can't believe more people aren't doing it. Everybody should be using Digital Boost. I honestly think that. It doesn't matter where you are in the process. The mentors will fill the gap. If you know a tiny bit, they'll fill all of this. If you know loads, great, they're going to take it to this level. They're amazing.